Oh, wait, baby. Oh, wait, baby. Hey, man, listen, man. This is your boy Big Nate with the Real Underground Radio Station. Oh, wait. This is Nate Logic, baby. Hey, I'm so excited, man. Listen, I've been trying to prime and talk my homegirl. I'm sorry, not just my homegirl,
Okay.
my sister.
Okay, brother.
Of you know, I am a member of Omega Psi Phi. You know, I am a member. I am one of the members. She
One of
also
them.
happens
One
to
of them good
be
brothers.
one of them members, one of the bruhs. She also happens to be, and it's so much more. But these are one of the things that we share in common. One of the small things we share in common. We're both part of the D9 organizations. We are La Familia. La Familia. She's also a member of.
Listen, the Delta Sigma Theta
We baby.
Incorporated.
Hey man, listen, this your boy Big Nate, the Real Underground Radio Station. Listen, man, I got my good sister Zedralyn
Yes.
Butler.
What's up, y'all?
Hey man, I'm so excited to have you on the show, man. We listen, first of all, on live in front of the world to see.
Yeah. What's up, y'all?
I want to say this. I apologize.
Oh, get it out.
I am
Get it out.
sorry.
Get it out.
Listen, man, we've been trying to get
Get it
this
out.
scheduled. We've been trying to put this together for 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, about 2 months.
No, probably more than 2 months, 3 months, because we started having a conversation around the King Cotton.
Yeah, you're right. And I got busy.
You
with
got
the King
busy
Cotton.
with the King Cotton,
Yeah.
and you kind of did diss me.
Yeah, so, you know, I
You
guess that was
kinda
your
did.
payback.
You kind of did shove me to the side there.
You know.
You had you had a lot
Sorry.
going
I'm
on.
sorry. I did.
You had a
You
lot
know,
going on,
Just
but
planning, one of the biggest national high school boys basketball tournament. That's nothing major, but
that is,
I'm sorry.
you know, at the end of the day, it wasn't. I mean,
We ain't had nobody but like Waka Flocka there and
oh, that was so amazing.
24, 25 top 4 or 5-star athletes there. It wasn't
That was so.
wasn't nothing.
You know, the King Cotton is so amazing because I can't think of another event where you have that many top college prospects in one tournament.
Right.
I can't think of any other event, and I'm not well versed in that area, but I do know out of 20 tournaments, no other tournament can say they had over almost 30 top 5 prospects in a one tournament.
I will say this. There are some great tournaments that are out there. There are some great tournaments in the South. I say we kind of take over the South. I mean, you got the Real Dinner Rock, but there's AAU. We talking about full blown high school teams.
Right.
So we have had a lot of compliments off of King Cotton, national wise, that came from coaches who played in some of your top high school tournaments and said that King Cotton is right there with them, if not better.
And that's in little old Pine Bluff.
Yep.
Who would have thunk it?
A little payback.
Little bitty Pine Bluff.
Yeah. We just down here.
I think a lot of people sometimes forget how important something like that is, and how important that tournament is to Pine Bluff. How much it can help Pine Bluff. Not maybe in the short run, but in the long run. And even in the short run.
Right.
There are so many tangibles and intangibles where the King Cotton benefits Pine Bluff.
Absolutely.
I think it helps people to see that, oh, we can do this in Pine Bluff. We can have a SWAC tournament in Pine Bluff. We can have a gymnastics tournament in Pine Bluff. We can have a motocross tournament in Pine Bluff. You guys can house all these things now. And once we also get the hotel finished,
Oh, yeah.
oh, wait, baby.
That'll help us out so much.
It's gonna help y'all a lot. It's gonna move us even further. And I think a lot of people, the problem is a lot of the benefits of these things. Do you think they're well communicated to the community?
Well, it depends on what things you're talking about because, people go to what they want to go to. If it's something that appeases them, they'll be there. If
Right.
they are sports fans, they're gonna go to sporting events. You have other things. Uh, let's say, for example, gymnastics. So you mentioned that. I mean, we had a gymnastics tournament that came to Pine Bluff. You know, the thing is how we market that. How do we get that out there? How do we get the word out there? I think marketing is one of the key things when you want to sponsor an event. But I mean, that's just what it's gonna take.
It's gonna take us putting the word out. But
Marketing.
I guess my question is what are, in your opinion, the benefits of having something like a King Cotton in Pine Bluff?
Oh, um, I think one of the things that I look at in terms of King Cotton and working with Ryan and Sam, I can kind of say we all kind of bank on our memory of what it was like coming to King Cotton when we were younger, and how live it was, and how packed it was, and how you couldn't really find a seat anywhere. And me personally, I know that King Cotton has been gone for quite a while. Coming back, it's not going to be packed in the beginning. You know, that's something that we have to build, and we've been building on it every single year. So that's so. First, you got to have people that are willing to work with King Cotton that actually has that vision of bringing it back.
Right.
Once you have that, I mean, people got to realize we're trying to get more and more people to the city. So when we get to the point where the convention center is packed, then are we doing our due diligence and bringing money to the city, getting people out? You know, of course, Pine Bluff is going to be the home crowd,
Right.
but can we get people from Little Rock? Because to be honest, we've been having Little Rock teams, but the Little Rock crowd doesn't necessarily show up how you would think that they would show up.
Or how they should show up.
Exactly. I mean, of course, yes, it is the Christmas holiday, but I mean, you right down the street.
Right. And you should show up for these babies. So basically, it gives the kids and the community something to do. Would another important part of it be so other possible organizations, events can see what Pine Bluff is capable of doing?
Oh, absolutely. If you can have an event that you know that's going to be grasping to the attention of your local citizens, then why not come back out with the Black Rodeo? You know, people came out to that. Now, whether or not you determine that is successful or not, that's just somebody's opinion. To me, we had a great time.
Right. I think the Black Rodeo, it was super nice.
It was.
Now they say it was hard to pull off, but y'all did it. Were you a
Yeah.
part of that planning committee?
No, I was not a part of that planning committee, but I know I was around when the talks of it came out, and I think one of the difficult things was like, how do you move the dirt in and out of the arena, getting it in there quickly, because the rodeo had to adjust because it was supposed to be at Heston Stadium,
Right.
and so they had to adjust to the convention center. So, yeah.
And being able to being able to say, hey, convention center, can y'all open up the doors for us? That speaks a lot to the leadership of the convention center, to the people in that area, because they could have said, no,
Right.
y'all ain't finna bring, it probably had over 4 or 5 truckloads of dirt.
Yeah, I don't know how much it was.
It was a lot of
It
dirt.
was a lot of dirt.
But
it was worth it, though,
Right.
because you had people that come out. We dressed the part, had our cowboy hats on, boots, and all of that. And I think that the families that came out had a good time.
and I think it was a beautiful time. I didn't get a chance to go because I ain't really into cowboy stuff. But
Oh, they
right, I know, man. I don't know how I would look in a tight shirt with.
You ain't gotta have a tight shirt on.
You ain't gotta have a
like
tight
that. Just throw some boots on.
I don't really like cowboy boots like that.
Oh man, because you had everybody in the
I
store trying
fat
to buy
feet.
some cowgirl and cowboy boots.
It was
I saw them because I was right there with them.
It was a beautiful sight.
It was.
I think things like that show what we're capable of doing in Palm Bluff.
Right.
And that's why I like to talk to you about things like that, organizing events and things, because I know that's right around in your tool bag or whatnot. So give me a little background. Are you from Pine Bluff High, Chapel. Which one of them schools you go to?
I'm from Dub C, Watson Chapel, proud graduate class of 2001. What's up, y'all?
So, you from the Dub. Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Is you from the Loop?
I'm not from the Loop.
But you still from the Dub,
I'm not
though.
from the Loop, but
You got love in the Loop.
Going to the Dub shoot. I know people everywhere.
You
know.
You can go in the Loop.
I stayed in Jefferson Heights for a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jefferson Heights is the Loop, though.
It's not.
So can you go to the Loop, though?
Can I go through the Loop?
Can you go through the Loop? Is you safe? I know I got connections in the Loop. Like, he gonna tell me if you straight or not.
I got the homies everywhere.
Baby.
I got the homies
She say
everywhere.
she's straight in the Loop.
I got the homies everywhere. Chapel know what's up.
Hey, that's what's up. Now, you were class of 01 in Chapel, I believe.
Everybody.
That's Stanley Scott.
No, Stanley. We adopted Stanley in 2002.
Okay. Who else is in 01?
That's me, Carrie.
Carrie, an alumni of Nate Logic and the 870 show.
Yeah.
Shout out, Carrie.
Yeah. That's my girl. Hey, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Miss Carrie, baby.
But it's a lot of beautiful people and great, cool people in that class that I'm real cool with. Mm-hmm. And I always like to show love, regardless if you're from Chapel, Dollaway, All-Timer, any of that. It's still about the Bluff, baby.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't like to, I know people like to get caught up in those schools things or whatever, which I am too. I do too. Don't get it twisted.
But we got our own language. We got our own code that people don't understand. Even going to Chapel, Pine Bluff High back then, they don't understand. I mean, we go at it hard, but at the end of the day, it's all love.
It's all about the Bluff, baby.
Yeah, it's all love.
Hey, man, we so excited about Pine Bluff. We kind of on a high right now. Yeah, even though it's Pine Bluff High, back to back.
Yes. And I'm excited for the guys.
So I'm sure you know, being in the basketball world, because that's your forte, right?
Yeah. Sports period, but
period.
Basketball is where
basketball is where
basketball and softball raised me. People don't know softball. I played softball.
I didn't know that.
I actually like softball better than basketball, but people
really
don't know that. Yeah.
So did you play softball in college or?
No, softball. I played softball before I started basketball, and I think after I was 12, I just kind of like fully dived into basketball, and then by the time I was senior, I was on the high school team.
Okay.
Junior and senior year.
Mm-hmm. Now, but basketball though, that's where you got your bread and butter.
Yeah, that was my hustle to college.
That was your hustle. Now, where did you go to college at?
I went to Tyler Junior College in Tyler, Texas, and then from there I went to Stephen F. Austin State University.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah,
what's brother? I don't know. Poncho.
Yeah. Okay.
Long live Poncho.
Yeah. Paul
Quinn. Paul Quinn. No, I'm thinking Stephen F. Austin. Who is somebody else I know that went to Stephen F. Austin? Is Stephen F. Austin, is that in Dallas?
No, it's actually in between Houston and Dallas.
Oh, okay.
It's East Texas.
Okay, it's East Texas. Mm-hmm. Okay. Teach me up, because that's why we're here. Yeah. So I can learn something, because I'm sure other folk. Now, is it a HBCU?
It's not. It's not. I want to talk about, I do want to talk about that too. So, but no, it's not. It is the PWI. Tyler Junior College, just a little bit of background about that. You know, growing up Pine Bluff, all I knew was sea art. Like, that's all I knew. And when I tell you Tyler is probably like 2 or 3 times the size of UAPB.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I don't know if you consider the PWI or anything like that. I don't know if they do that with junior colleges or not, but it was kind of 50-50.
Okay. And then you played a year or 2 there. How many years did you play? You played 2 there, and then went to Stephen F. Austin, SFA. Mm-hmm. And then you played 2 there, correct? Mm-hmm. And so after that, it was on to, did you play overseas?
I didn't play overseas, but, I got a story on that too. I think my senior in high school, junior in high school, I set myself 3 goals. 3 goals were I wanted to go to college to play, I wanted to play in a college in Texas, and then I wanted to go overseas. Mm-hmm. So, of course, my first school knocked the first 2 goals out the park. By the time my last year of eligibility came from SFA, I just really did think it was over. I didn't have an agent or I didn't have nothing. Like, I kind of went through a little slump. And because I was that was my last year of sports. I've been doing it just about all my life.
So you felt the way.
I did. I felt a certain way, and I got an email from this lady in Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and she asked about coming for something like a combine. That's what it basically was. But I was a broke college student, and it cost money. I
Oh,
think it was like $1,700 or something like that. To me, I'm like, shoot, that's too. I don't have it.
oh, they didn't want to pay for it.
That I didn't have it. Well, it's one of those things where you got to pay to get over there, and then you're seen by all of these scouts from all these different countries. But I mean, I responded back to the email, and I know some people wouldn't have done that. They would have just been like, well, that's a done deal. I can't do that and keep moving. But I responded back and I told her, I was like, look, I'd love to take a opportunity to come,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not able to afford it. And she replied back to me. She was like, okay, that's understandable. Send me a tape.
Right.
So I sent her a tape. I don't know, some weeks later, maybe she gave me a call and she's like, hey, I got a team that wants to come pick you up. I think they were in Frankfurt, Germany, next to Munich. And she told me about the deal. I think it was like in November, someday in November, like a Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday, something like that in November. And she told me all the details. They were trying to fly me out that Friday, and I wouldn't come back to the States until April. Now, I was still in school,
What?
finishing school. So I was trying to figure out a way to go talk to the dean, make all of that happen, make all this shake and bake. And she called me back, and she was just like, "Is one thing that I forgot to ask you. You know, we went all details, how much I was gonna get paid, all of that." And she was like, "Do you have your passport?" And I was like, "No, I ain't got my passport. I'll go get it. I'll get it. I have it." And she was like, No. She was like, it takes a while for the passports to come
Right.
back. So
Right.
I missed the wave. I missed the wave
So
of
key
going
lesson in
overseas.
that is go get your passport.
Yep, if you want to go overseas.
Even if it ain't, but I think you should have your passport at 18 anyway.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a
Like, let's
perfect.
go.
I think you know what. To be honest, and tell me what you think about this. 18 or high school graduation, a perfect gift is a passport
That's not bad.
because you need to be in these cases. You need to be ready to get on that flight.
Yeah.
You need to be preparing to see what it's gonna be
Yeah.
like over there.
Right.
So I think that's important, man. So if when y'all turn 18 or y'all getting ready to graduate from high school, don't go buy that baby no Jordans. Go buy that baby a passport.
I was like 30-some years old by the time I had my first pair of Jordans.
For real?
Yes.
You was grown.
I was grown.
You ain't had nobody trying to make up their life what they didn't get in their life and get it for you.
No. I was grown.
Hey, so let me ask you a question. So you didn't make it overseas to play basketball.
Right.
How did you continue that love for it after you graduated? How did you stay in touch with basketball?
Well, what some people don't understand is that when you've been playing basketball all your life, and sometimes I've always been kind of hesitant about how young I want my kids to start out in it, because when you start out young, I mean, you're playing all the time. And what people don't realize is you go through a burnout.
Mm-hmm.
You go through a burnout. So by the time my senior year came, I literally was burnt out. I was like, I just want to be a regular person.
Right.
That's all. I just want to be a regular person. And I was just kind of tired of living in and out of the suitcase and all of that. It was a fun ride. I will say that it was a very fun ride. But I was just tired. And I had a teammate. She had the ability to try out for the WNBA. And she told me the same thing. She was like, I was just burnt out.
Didn't want to do it no more.
Yeah. So I took a break. And I got a job. I got married. I got divorced. Got another job. I've moved to DC, and I came back to Arkansas in 2010, and I've been working in child welfare ever since I came back.
Oh, so you done got over in the court, on the state side.
Yeah.
Okay, so but let me ask you a question: did basketball or anything, your sports career, how did that kind of translate over into the basketball? I mean, into the
Child welfare.
or
Yeah.
the professional world?
Actually, it's because of basketball I got into child welfare. We do a lot of community events, and one community event that we did with the Boys and Girls Club, and there was a lot of foster kids there. And so, these kids kind of cool, so you just kind of chop it up with them. And then they gave us another event with the foster kids, and that was pretty cool. And so I think it was the final event that we did. We went Christmas shopping for them. So out of the team, we took about maybe 4 or 5 names, and we got their shopping list. We split up, went to Walmart, and we purchasing their gifts that they wanted, everything that they had on the shopping list. It wasn't our money, it was the school's money. So
Right.
like, hey, let's go.
Drop it.
It was like it was like that game show with the carts and all that. That's how we were. Tall, long-legged people just running down the aisle talking about, we found it. So, what was so cool about that was, I don't know what they did to bypass confidentiality or anything like that, but after one of our basketball games, they brought the foster care kids to the floor, and we presented them with their gifts, and all you could hear was like, oh, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Oh, a bike, a bike, a bike. And it was just like the joy in the face, like, oh, these some pretty cool kids. And so, like, that was it right there for me, and I've been in child welfare ever since.
Wow, it gave you opportunity to see what that could be.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story, Z. So let me ask you a question. I know we kind of tap dancing all around different topics because I feel like you have so much information, and I know we crunching for time, and I just want to make sure we touched on everything. But I want to go back to the conversation we were having or talking about the King Cotton. Do you think it'll continue now that, unfortunately we lost Go For It? Do you see the King Cotton continuing after losing the Go For It program?
I hope so. I really don't know. It does take sponsors. It's gonna take sponsors to carry it through. Whether or not the city picks up where Go Forward has dropped off, I don't know. And then we're in the midst of the mayor campaign that's going on with the runoff and stuff. So it's just it kind of is it's critical timing right now because if you didn't have all of that stuff going on, like right now, Sam does a really good job of locking in these teams. They would have been locked in by now, so it's just kind of waiting to see if we're going to have one or if we're not going to have one. People don't really understand. It puts a whole lot of pressure because, you can't put the King Cotton together in like 2 months. It takes a lot. It takes going after sponsors. So, if there are people that are out there that are working on that sponsorship, that's cool and all. But, it's crunch time. It's crunch time.
And so this being an important time to be working towards King Cotton, a lot of people thinking, like you say, it ain't gonna happen in 2 months. They need to be at the table talking, hey, who's gonna fill these gaps in?
Yeah. Usually, prior to all of this, Sam and I usually kind of start talking around this time. We might tap around some stuff in terms of just team selections. But it takes a lot of thoughtful planning, strategic planning, and getting things and people in place.
Right. Go Forwards took care of about how much budget out of the budget, 1/4, 3/4. How much of the budget did Go For It care? Cover?
I don't know an exact number. I can't tell you off the top of my head in terms of like the total sponsorships and how much of that percentage was Go Forward. But they did contribute a lot, not just financially, but also helping out with gathering the sponsorships, having people in place. So, if you weren't to put a financial percentage on it, but just in a financial involvement, it was a big part. Of financial and involvement from their staff.
Right. So the financial part and the actual man hours that they invested into the King Cotton. I'm hoping that our city officials see how important the King Cotton is to Pine Bluff and continue that. It's unfortunate that we lost Go For It, in my opinion. I felt like Go For It was something important for the city and investment in our city, and it's sad that we lost it. But without Go For It, I'm hoping that we still have people who step up to the plate and help fill those gaps and keep this thing going.
Right. And I think it's just a pivot. It's just a pivot. I I don't get caught up in all the politics of Pine
Right,
Bluff.
right. You really got to stay out of it.
Yeah, I don't live my life in that. I'm only a part of one organization. I don't believe in being in multiple organizations with the same people in it. I mean, I'm not doing it just for it to be on my resume or feel included to be included with other people. But my whole thing is to focus on the community. I don't get caught up in the image,
Mm-hmm.
being in the image of, you got to have this title or you got to live this
Right,
certain way. It's like, and there's more important people in the community, and those are the people who are being looked over or the people that's trying to come up. We don't want to see all of that.
right. Um, do you think that's a problem in our community? People want titles and want to be recognized and all that.
Everybody want to be recognized. Everybody want to
Right.
feel important.
Yeah.
Everybody want to say on board. Everybody want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I train social workers, and I'm like right now. I've been training supervisors all week. And, at the end of the day, I tell people, like people just want somebody to talk to that they can trust. Somebody that's
Mm-hmm.
not biased, somebody that's not judgmental, somebody that just can like really listen to what they got to say. So yeah, everybody wants that particular attention, but they don't have to, they don't require it from most people. I think that without saying too much, um, there's just this ego
Mm-hmm.
that gets in the way of unity.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Some people, in the desire to be heard, that they put that recognition, that need for recognition, and that attaboy and that praise, the need from the crowd before the service. I think that's a
Yeah,
problem.
it is. So, I do my part. I do my part. I
Mm-hmm.
do what I feel like God has given me the gift to do and the talent to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I use what I've been through as an athlete and try to pour into, the athletes in Pine Bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Trying to put things together, trying to um, have them someone to talk to be able to relate to. Because at the end of the day, I was them.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be that person who never thought college coaches came to Pine Bluff for girls basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Until somebody told me, it was like, Gary Blair came to the game to see you play, and I'm like,
Wow.
for real? But Gary Blair. I mean, you got Dana Cherry. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You got all these still great people that came out of Pine Bluff, but it's just, the gender stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People want to see football. People want to see boys basketball. So girls basketball is always put on the back burner. But, you got to thank Coach Berry, Coach Henderson
Mm-hmm.
for developing all the girls and women over there at Chapel because she instilled a lot in
Right.
us.
Right. Right. Do you think women's sports in general in Palm Bluff is overlooked sometime, or not even overlooked, but is it just put on a back burner? And what can we do to help build that up so people can start noticing it? Because Palm Bluff has a rich history in women's sports.
Absolutely. In Pine Bluff General, of course, Chapel has always had um, Chapel has always had a great program with Coach Henderson over there being a legacy coach. Um, Pine Bluff has had some great ballers come out of.
Mm-hmm.
I already mentioned Dana Cherry. You got Katie Katina Daniels. You had Julia Jackson. If you want to go back farther than that, who's a legend within herself. Um, but a part of giving back to that is one reason. Like I played the post position, and that's the overlooked position because everybody want to be a guard and shoot the three and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got handles too. I can shoot the ball too. I'm just bigger and like the bang down low.
Right.
So that was one thing that I did in August. I got with Superintendent Barbery over the Palm Beach School District.
Who's also a basketball.
She was my teammate.
She was your teammate.
Yep, she was my teammate. She
Wow.
was my teammate, and Keisha Seamster, who was Keisha Robinson. She was Barbery's teammate.
Wow.
So I'm coming in seventh grade. Keisha was going out, I think 12th grade, and Barbery is 2 years older than me, so we played together. So I texted them both. I was like, hey, I got an idea. And we put together basically a post camp and included all the girls, regardless of what school they went to, Chapel, Pine Bluff High, and Dalloway just integrated. So
Right.
we put our time in and worked with the girls on some post moves, showed them some things. And then you cannot overlook UAPB's women basketball team. I think Coach Thorne has done an awesome job with turning that whole culture around
Mm-hmm.
because, like,
I think they're in the SWAC tournament now, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So we rooting for them. We rooting
Right.
for
We're
them, and then they
definitely
just made
doing.
an historic. I mean, she been setting records too. I mean, they just set an historic record of having the most winningest season here at UAPB. She celebrated 100 wins since being at UAPB. I
That's
mean, you
huge.
got yeah,
That
you
is
got Zay
huge.
Green that made all conference first team. You got Karai Beck and Maya Pete that made all conference second. I mean, Pine Bluff is on the map.
Yeah. Shout out to USB's basketball girls too. They out there doing their thing right now, baby.
Yeah.
We excited for them. We happy for them, man. Keep doing your thing, coach. We baby. This your boy Big Nate with the Real Underground Radio Station, man. I got my dog, my sister Zedralyn Butler. So Zedra, let me ask you a question. As far as organizing,
Mm-hmm.
do if you're organizing something, tell me some of the most important things. What's some of the most important things you need to do when you start organizing an event or putting together something specifically for Palm Bluff? Because you
Yeah.
know Palm Bluff has its own challenges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't worry about that, but um, it you really have to be embedded in it. It has to be really something that you want to do, something that you have to focus on. So, you definitely have to be organized. You have to prepare ahead of time. You can't wait till the last minute. I always tell my people, you know, you have to be ready to pivot at the drop of a dime.
Hmm.
Have you a plan B and plan C while you planning plan A.
Right.
You know, you have to learn how to visualize it. You got to sometimes I have to pray about who do I need to do this or who do I need to do that, and there you go.
Mm.
Um, but actually, organization is a gift when you're organizing a particular event. Um, Write it down. I usually outline my stuff
Hmm.
all the time. I write it out. I outline it. Um, I got chicken scratch all over the paper by the time I'm like, okay, we'll do this. I mean, just the event that I mentioned earlier with Barberie, I'd go to her office and I'm like, hey, this is what we want to do. What you want to do? You're getting the input of those who are going to help. And we just go from there.
And put it together. I think, and you do such a great job because give me some other events that you've organized. I know you
Hmm.
do the King Cotton. What are some of the you've made mention of the uh, post
Hmm.
tournament, not post tournament, but the
It's like a post roundup. We kind of
post
call it a
roundup.
post
That's what I have to
roundup.
call it.
Hmm.
Can you give me some other events you've helped organize in Palmer?
Yeah. I just helped my cousin. People don't know that's my cousin, but that's my cousin, Lucas
I did
Armstrong.
not know that was your
Yep,
cousin.
his mom and my dad are brothers and sisters.
Lucas
Same
got so
same
many families.
grandparents.
Shout out my boy Lucas,
We
man.
family though. Like we
Yeah,
came
yeah.
from same But no, I just helped him with the YBL All Star. He came to me a while ago and he's been wanting to do that for at least 2 or 3 years, and we've been talking about it for at least 2 or 3 years. So we finally did that.
Hmm.
We also got together with him and Coach Joe Scott, and we created an event honoring women in sports from out of Pine Bluff. So we had about, I think maybe, I don't know, it was like 8 legends and it was pretty big. We had Johnny Harris, who is the head women's basketball coach at Auburn. She is a Watson Chapel graduate.
Wow, didn't know that.
We had Coach Yo at Ole Miss, where she used to coach. She used to be an assistant coach at UAPB. We had Julia Jackson, who was at Fayetteville. We had Coach Bird, Coach Henderson, which was our coach. I hate that I started naming people because I know I'm gonna start forgetting somebody, but um, we had some big heavy hitters that came down. Betty Anthony Hayes, Cheryl Hadley.
Those are two legends right there
Um,
in their own right.
yeah,
Especially Coach Hadley. She coached a lot of girls before
yeah,
she's a true legend.
yeah, yeah.
She
She
was
is, and
she's
she
a
a
true
sweetheart. Yes,
yes.
she
When
off the chain.
yeah, you better not get on her bad side. I love Miss Hadley.
Yes,
Shout out Miss Hadley, a
absolutely.
big supporter.
Absolutely. So I mean, we did that, and it was a really 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 nice event where we did a little reception before,
Hmm.
and then we had some AAU girls scrimmage at the Hyper right after we had their recognition dinner.
Wow, so they can
So it
see
was,
it.
yeah, so they can see it, and then we recognize them on the court in front of the girls. And then I did the first scholarship game down here in Pine Bluff. I did I did it. I've always wanted to do it, but I did a
Hmm.
scholarship game honoring Latoya Young, who played at Chapel, and she passed away due to meningitis during the middle of a season, and she was an exceptional athlete. So I did an old school versus new school scholarship game. So where we basically collected money to give scholarships to the two girls off the Chapel basketball team.
I think that's a beautiful story because what we need more of is people who choose Palm Bluff and who have experience in organizing and leading from the front and being able to like you say, play
Hmm.
down in the post and bang in the middle, who can help put these things together.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you are truly a benefit to our city. Where
yeah.
would you like to see Palm Bluff go as far as athletic
Mm.
wise?
Oh, you know, uh, I hate to say I'm so biased, but sports is where it is. Sports is not the only thing. Of course, your child can excel in many other things, but sports is what it is. Pambla Boys basketball team just proved that you stick it out because I mean, if you sit around and watch those games and see how how much pride they have, and how proud the city is of them.
Right, right, right.
We follow the football team, but all those kids are playing for a reason.
Yeah.
They're playing for a reason. There are so many things that are negative about the city, and you got some stuff that should outshine the
Mm-hmm.
positive. And at the end of the day, you got Courtney and Austin going to Mizzou,
That's big in
and
itself.
yeah, that's huge. That's
Yep.
that's huge. But it's just not Courtney and Austin. You got all the other guys that have signed to play football as
Mm-hmm.
well to go to the next level.
Yep. Yep.
So what that does is that provides that confidence. And what I have learned by speaking to a lot of teams around the county, and I spoke to some teams in Texas and Mississippi, and what I've noticed, especially for our girls and even some of the guys, is that our athletes are lacking confidence. They don't think that they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have people pouring into it. So, winning a back-to-back state championships, like, you got it. And I think it proved itself last year in the King. Well, not this last year, but the year before last year in the King Cotton when Pine Bluff High lost by like at the buzzer to was it Beaumont United
That was
out of
such an
Texas.
amazing game too.
It was.
That was such an
It
amazing
was. It
game.
was. It was a really great game, and I think that when you put players like that against players who are ranked nationally,
Mm-hmm.
it boosts their confidence. Oh, like, you're supposed to be number such and such in the country,
Mm-hmm.
but you come down here in Pine Bluff to bang.
And look at you.
Yeah. And I mean, the teams that they beat to even get to Beaumont United,
Right.
you
Was
know,
huge in
that
itself.
was that was really big.
Look at these little bitty boys from Palm Bluff.
Right.
They got some dog in them.
Right.
They got some dog
Right.
in them. Speaking of their championship, one part that I really this last championship game, they at one point they were down 12 points.
Right. Yep. I saw that.
To be down 12 points, most kids would have said, you know what, it's over with. I think they were down 12 points right at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, they were down 12 by the time halftime came. I think they cut that lead down to 5. Yeah,
Oh, wait,
32 30.
baby.
I think it was 32-37. So yeah.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what it was. They were down 12. Within that time, they brought it down to 5. You got to have some dog in you to do that.
Oh yeah, you gotta want
Because,
it.
yeah, you got to really want it. I'm so, man, I feel so inspired when I seen that.
Yeah, yeah. And Benton has a good team. And again, both of these teams are King Cotton teams.
Ben was in the King Cotton.
Absolutely.
So, look
And I
at
think
that.
they set a record or something because I think the game that they played in, they went into either double or triple overtime. And we've never had an overtime game in King Cotton.
Wow.
Well, I won't say never, but
Who was the young man from Benton that played in the King Cotton?
Tyrion Burgess.
Now is he? Because I Burgess name sound like it's a Pine Bluff name.
Nah, but he is one of your top players in Arkansas.
So look at that, and they another King Cotton thing. Team state champions.
Yep.
So another benefit of King Cotton of
Right.
seeing that's why it's important to invest because you don't have this type of talent coming into Pine Bluff like that where kids get to see what they can be.
Right. And that's why I started the business that I did called the Ball Code, helping the athletes transition to and from college. And really, it kind of just serves as a mentor in terms of what it's really like in college. Like, what is it really going to take in college? Like, when I talk to the teams, I let them know, like, it's how bad you want it because at the end of the day, you think you're good here, but you have no idea how somebody else is playing in, let's say, Iowa.
Right.
Y'all competing for the same spot. Who you think they're going to give it to?
Yeah.
So I put things together, resources together to try to help them prepare for college. As a matter of fact, I got something that I really like to share, releasing it if y'all go to theballcode.com, which is my website. I release some assessments basically on how to choose the best fit for you in terms of college. So it helps with deciding, is this the best fit for you? Because, you heard of the transfer portal, and you got a lot of people hopping in the transfer portal. And for high school students, the transfer portal is not your best friend.
Right.
Because you got college coaches who are hopping in the transfer portal before they recruit high school, unless you are that athlete. If you are that athlete, you have no problem with it. But if you are that athlete, you still have to determine what's the best school for you, what's the best choice for you, because people after your name. I really was disappointed when you had all the backlash on Courtney when he decommitted from Arkansas. Well, if that's not where he wants to be,
that's not where he wants to be.
You're not going for him.
Right. He got to make the decisions for himself, and I think that's important, and that's a big part of the conversation I want to have with you as well. When picking these schools, I know and you know what? That was the reason why we wanted to sit down and talk when we were talking because it was right before, what do they call that season when they start picking schools? Signing day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you a question. A lot of kids get discouraged because they probably still haven't got signed or they still hadn't made a decision on where they want to go to school.
And that's why I'm here where I am because it's like I was a late signer. I was a late signer. But it was just because I just wanted to make sure that this was the right choice that I wanted to do. Because being one of the top players in Arkansas and choosing JUCO is unorthodox.
Right.
It's like, why you want to go there? And people will call me and be like, you shouldn't have done that and da-da-da-da. I'm just a kid, but this is a choice that I'm going to make. But what they didn't understand is that the junior college that I picked not too long ago, they celebrated 75 years, and we got like 68, 69 national championships.
Wow.
It is literally an athletic powerhouse, and
that's
a
huge.
Powerhouse.
So it really wasn't a JUCO. It was just a JUCO name.
We were family.
Yeah.
We were family, and that's one thing that, I'm an advocate for JUCO, and even if you are not being seen, if you're not being recruited, don't sleep on JUCO. Number one, unless you are just that athlete that can get in and just go and straight in and play. A lot of the freshmen don't even play. And JUCO, you can go straight in and play.
Yeah.
And you can develop because there is this 1 year that we all know that you just got to adjust to the game. It's different from high school. It's completely different from high school.
And that's for every sport, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So in the NIL world, things are completely different with this NIL talking, and kids see the bag, but they don't see the grind that it takes to get that NIL, and everybody ain't getting that name, image, and likeness sponsorship.
Right. Everybody's not getting, but it's not. You can get it. It's not. It may not be the $5 million deal that you want. But you still can get it. You can be a representative of your local pizza store or your
Right.
local whatever it is.
And
You
they can
know,
give you free pizza for
I
a
mean,
month or something.
yeah, I mean, a deal is a deal, but what I think is the most important thing to understand is that you're now a business.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand how to operate yourself as a business.
Mm-hmm.
We all like to see money, but do you know how to properly set yourself up as a business? Do you know how to
Right.
do your taxes? Do you know, like, all these things that's so business minded?
So should a freshman or someone just starting out who maybe didn't get they were a starter in high school.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a whole lot of looks,
Mm-hmm.
but they maybe signed to Wichita Baptist or something.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Should they start looking for some NIL money, or should they focus on their craft?
Well, you definitely want to focus on your craft, but it depends on where you are as an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as a freshman, a lot of us freshmen we go through what you call athletic identity, and that's a mental struggle.
Trying to find who you are.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
like I don't have time to be focused on NIL. Now, if I was an athlete that was like that,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, NIL might not be a bad venture. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But it just really depends on where that athlete is
Mm-hmm.
mentally.
Should they be looking at sponsorships or anything like not sponsorships? Should they be looking at agents or something like that?
I in today's world now it's just it's I think eventually it'll lead up to that, but I don't know if I necessarily call it agents. I mean, because you just have to have somebody in your corner, and anybody can do that.
That
But
can manage those
you
deals or
know,
whatnot.
as of right now, I think that if you are receiving a large amount for your NIL, yeah, you need somebody, and you need an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, a lot of people lean on their parents, but the parents might not know how to operate businesses.
Right.
So if you lack that resource, yeah, you might want to hire you an agent. You might want to hire somebody that knows a little bit about something to make sure that you are making the right deals.
So what's some of the average incomes or what's some of the average monies for these NIL deals?
Oh,
It's out there.
yeah, it's out there.
It's
Again,
outside.
it depends on what
They in
type
the
of athlete.
millions.
I mean,
Can I get an NIL
to.
deal? I might need to
I mean,
go back to school.
now
Oh, wait,
you
baby.
got OTE. OT Overtime Elite, which started a couple of years ago, but it takes like the top 40 high school basketball players, and now it's its own professional league of, I think it starts at age 16 to 18 year olds that's getting paid six figures just to be in the league.
What?
You've been asleep, Nate.
Teach the people.
You've been asleep. They know. They ought to know.
So what is? Oh, so it takes. So are they making them leave high school? Are
Yeah,
they?
they're leaving high school and they're going to Atlanta to be in the league.
And it's the OTE league.
Yeah, Overtime Elite. And I mean, they do provide them with some education, financial literacy, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're still able to play in college.
They just playing in high school.
They're still able to go in college. Yep. And as a matter of fact, you got quite a few players that's in OTE right now, and you have some that's going to be in the McDonald All-American game. That play right here in the King Cotton.
Oh, we baby.
Yep.
Hey man, listen, man. This is why you need to be tuned in. Cause listen, ain't nobody telling you and giving you this game, man. This Nate Logic, man. This the real underground radio station. Hey, we've been on here 52 minutes. I know you told me you already, and I know
I got kids, Nate.
You got kids, Nate. Z, so I'm gonna give you a few minutes to kind of go over some things.
Yeah.
Cause I got a question, and
Go ahead.
before I do, we're gonna go out on this question. Z. Well, before I ask my question, cause we're gonna go out on my question.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my mic on mute. I'm gonna give you a few minutes to cover some stuff that you need to get off your chest. Oh, we baby. So I'm gonna let you. I like to do this to give people a time to, if it's something that you want to make sure people hear. Because I don't want you to say, "Well, I was on Nate Logic and he didn't let me say what I wanted to say." Because I want you to get it off your chest. If you got something you need to say, you said what you had to say.
I don't say no. I say, what you want me to say? Nate?
Whatever you need to say.
You don't want to tell me that.
Yes, I do.
You don't want to tell me that.
Yes, I do.
No, I just
Let me mute my mic.
the only thing that I just would like to say is that um it's so important when we start off our youth into these little league teams, and to go out and support them and to get them involved. Again, I'm gonna say it again. Sports isn't the only avenue. That's just my forte, and that's my language that I'm gonna speak. So that's to the people the little kids that watch basketball games and things like that. Yeah, we like to see them grow together. And that's what starts off the great athletes. And I think that's something that Pine Bluff does have is we have the young athletes that can grow together, learn together, and as long as they continue to grow together and learn together in the sport and in school and in academics, then you have more and more championship teams. You'll have great players that come through like the ones that you see today. So getting them in there and supporting them, but at the same time, you can't support them in the stands and cheer for them in the stands more than you cheer for them in academics. Academics is a big portion. So if your kids want to go to school, they want to go hoop, and they want to be in college, it's a big deal because you have to think about it for the kids that's not really being recruited. You know, academics is the other way in. Number one, you got college teams that have to have certain GPAs, so they looking for players that has that academic ability. And if you receive the academic scholarship, then guess what? That costs the athletic department less money because you got your own academic scholarship going on, right? So I can join the team. Another thing is kids have got to build their confidence. They got to build their confidence. Why? Because all the other kids in other states and other areas, they got their confidence and we slow and we behind. We got to learn how to be more vocal. And that's something that I'm willing to help. And I'm sure there are other people that are willing to help them really just speak what they got to speak, help them mold the answers that they need to ask when they go on visits. And if they're not being recruited, you got to think like this, I'm good, or you think you good, but you really don't know your talent level because you might not be just that good, and having them reach out to the coaches because what they're doing is they're waiting on coaches to reach out to them, and they missing out on opportunities by doing it.
Right. So basically, you saying if you got that dog in you, you gotta have. I think. And tell me if I'm kind of summing this up wrong. It's okay to be confident, and we got to support our children and help them build that confidence so that they can go out and stand on what they is. So they can go out and let folk know I'm a dog. I got that dog in me. I'm not gonna lay down. I know what I'm capable of.
Right.
And we can never get our children to understand that if we don't show up for them.
Right.
They need us in the stands. They don't listen. Your basketball, the basketball team that your little boy pay for or your little girl, that's not a glorified daycare. Go out there and root for your baby.
No, I need a break, Nate.
I'm just saying. You need a break. They need to be out there.
These kids.
Wait. Go, little JJ. Go, Zanat, yeah. You need to be out there supporting your babies.
Yeah, and my thing is support them. If you're going to support them like that, support them in academics. If you're unsure what they're doing in academics, get you a tutor. I'm telling you, because if you get them to the next level and they are not academically grounded, it is going to be a challenge.
Right. They got to know what.
And the difference in between high school and college is basically in high school, you can have bad grades, still play, but college, you'll be placed on academic probation and cannot play for a whole semester.
You out of there.
And they might kick you off the team. You just never know.
Might kick you out of college.
Banned. No, it's
out of there. So let me ask you a question, because we're going to leave. Give me your top 5 female athletes out of Pine Bluff.
Oh, out of Pine Bluff?
Pine Bluff. Top 5 female athletes.
I never saw Juliet Jackson play, but I've heard so many great things and doing that program. I got to see the pictures and all that, and she's a Hall of Famer. So I guess that's one. And I'm not going in any particular order. Definitely Dinah Cherry. Definitely Dinah Cherry. She's about maybe 2 years older than 2 or 3 years older than I am. And I got a
99,
chance
I
to see her
believe.
play. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, well 2 years. So I got a chance to see her play. Um, and we were part of this AU organization down here. So Dana Cherry for sure.
That's two.
I gotta go with my girl Keisha because I looked up to her a lot. She ended up going to UAPB out of Chapel, but um, yeah, she I looked up to her a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I never played with her, but we ran the course together
So that's
in the
three.
open gym. My fourth one would be, um, did you say basketball or just say women in sports?
We can say women in sports.
Hmm. I want to go with my girl Toya, my classmate.
You putting her top five
Latoya McBride. Latoya McBride still holds the state record
in what?
in track.
Top five.
Yeah.
Easy. State record in what?
In the 400.
Okay.
She
Okay.
actually ran track for Ole Miss.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, that's four. So you need five,
One
right?
more. One more.
I'm gonna go with my girl who I throw the scholarship game for, and I'm gonna say Latoya Young.
Latoya Young.
All around the world, great basketball star, great track star, GPA. She probably had like a 5.0 knowing her, but she was a true leader. People don't know that she was an actually true leader.
So shout out Young, right?
Latoya Young, Toya McBride. Who else did I name? Dana Cherry, Julie Jackson, and Keisha.
That's your
Robinson.
five. Keisha
That's
Robinson.
that's my five off the top of my head.
That's your five off top.
Somebody gonna text me and be like, "You forgot about me."
Hey, and before we go any further, I gotta give my sister Donetta Van Dunk a shout out. She also got a basketball scholarship. She went class of '91 with the Phillies.
Mm-hmm.
I think they won
I
a
know her name.
state championship, or was it? I think they did win a state championship. Class of '91.
Okay.
Um, Nana Jackson was on that team. Uh, I know my son Eddie. What was his girl's name? Eddie. I can't think of her name. But my big sister, I'm so proud of her to this day. Donetta Michelle Van Dunk. I love you, Donetta. As my father would say, annoying is her Netta Boo.
Never boo.
Netta Boo.
Oh, you real if you got a
Yes,
you name
yes.
and boo.
He was excited. She led the charge for us. She still leads the charge for us. She graduated from Pine Bluff High and went straight to Mississippi State. Not Mississippi, Southern Miss SMU.
SMU.
She on a scholarship,
Mm-hmm.
SMU, and then she transferred to Arkansas State
Okay.
after 2 years. So, hey, pour into your girls because they open gates for us. My sister also opened the doors for me and my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's logic was you get in college and then you show them. So she treaded the field for us to get in school. So
Yeah.
that is why it's important to pour into your girls, fellas, because they are going to tread the field for your family. They are the burden barriers. They help lead. So shout
Yeah.
out to my big sister. I love you dearly, Donetta. Keep doing your thing, baby.
And I appreciate leaders. Like I'll say this real quick. I've always been humbled. I never thought that I was just this great athlete, although other people may have seen it in me. But I just always thought myself as a leader, and like you just said, it made me think about, it was meant for me to take the path that I take for others behind me. So as a result, one of my coaches was like, "Hey, do you know Crystal Van Hook?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I just play with her sister. She right up under. She like a baby sister." She was like, "Good. Can you meet me at Watson Chapel? Because I really want her to come play for our team."
Wow.
So I was somewhat like a recruiter
Wow.
while in college, and we sat in my coach's office, and she ended up signing. She ended up coming to Texas and sign, and she signed, and then somebody right up under her. We call her Baby. she ended up signing to go to another school. I mean, it's just opening up the doors that way. I think for my position from Chapel, is as far as I know, under Coach Bird's leadership, I was one of the first girls to go out on a D1 level as high as I did.
Baby.
And you just open the door for everybody else to come behind you.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. So shout out to you, Z. I appreciate you for taking the time to come on here on Nate Logic. We have been trying to put this together, so I'm glad we were able to sit down and have this conversation.
Me too.
Hey, man, I think it was a very productive, positive conversation. So I hope you share this with your people. Let them go back and listen to it and get some game, man. That's what we do over here at Nate Logic. Listen, it ain't all about the jokes, and sometimes we want to sit down and share some real information, something that you can go put in your pocket and pull out on somebody and share with yourself and get some inspiration. We ain't got time. Listen, we ain't always on that mess stuff. I know a lot of people hear Nate Logic and they want to laugh and, see what kind of crazy stuff I'm talking about. But I also want you to be mindful. We got some real information and knowledge that you can apply to your life. And we want to make sure it's in a way that you can digest it. And we want to make sure that it's applicable. And getting a college education, getting to a college scholarship, playing sports, all these are applicable experiences that we all go through. So if you got a little girl, go get her in some basketball. Go get her in something physically demanding that requires her to grow, not only mentally, not only physically, but mentally as well, because team sports help you with that. Team sports help you with a lot. It requires you to develop mentally and physically. So this your boy Big Nate, baby. This is the Nate Logic Show. This the real underground, baby. Oh, wait, baby. Listen. Hold on. What are you doing?
I've been wanting to do that. I'm sorry.
You've been wanting to do that? You can't do that. No.
You have to be a hype girl.
No, but I understand, man, because people be, hey, listen, a lot of people like that ooh wee, baby. And I need to, I ain't mad at it because I know it's something, man. I'm so grateful for you coming on here, spending some time with your boy, man. I really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing so much more from you. I'm hopeful and prayerful that the King Cotton continues and that we stay on the ground with that, man. Anything, parting words, anything like that?
Yeah, I'll make sure y'all follow me. I need some more followers. I be spending knowledge every now and then. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at The Ball Code. The Ball Code on all social media, everything, except for X. X is _ball_code. So y'all hit me up. Go to the website, www.theballcode.com. Go get that free download so it can help. Even if it's not for you, somebody that you know that is in high school, be on the lookout because I am about to do a 4-part series on recruitment and academics. Other than that,
that's it.
Ball out.
Oh, wee, baby. It's your boy Big Nate, the real underground radio station. Y'all know how we do it, baby. Oh, wee, baby. You gotta know what she need, baby. Oh.
That is if you want to keep.
Come on, rock with me. Oh.
Listen to me now.
Don't start.
Listen to me now. Oh. You gotta keep a smile on her face, baby. Say it make her feel better every day. Your P's and Q's. Oh, hi. Think it over. This your boy Big Nate with the Real Underground Radio Station. This Nate Logic, baby. Oh! Think it over.